Hi, welcome to another episode of TC's Anything Goes. Today, we're gonna flush and change the coolant in the Inspira and Lancer OA. So, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to remove the driver side fog lamp cover. This will give us access to the drain for the radiator, the drain cock for the radiator. Okay, just one screw. And then after that you just need to pull it out. Okay, the drain cock is over here. Alright, so we'll be removing the radiator cock to drain out the fluids. Okay, that loosens it. Okay, always have a pen underneath because you don't want all this radiator coolant to drip all over the place. Okay, the next thing you want to do is to take out this pipe over here, this to the reservoir. Okay, just use a plier and just pull it out, just like that. And then you loosen the nut over here, sorry, the bolt over here. This is a size 12 mm. Okay, so you empty this, clean it up, and we'll be back. Okay, now that that's done, yep, just put it back first. I'm not gonna bolt it in first, I'm gonna flush this thing. So, okay, we'll run pipe water through this for a couple of minutes. So what this does is that it will actually push out all the remaining coolant inside the radiator. After this, we'll be flushing the lines as well, and I'll show you how that is being done. So I'll let this run for a couple of minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so for the next step, I'm going to have to remove quite a number of things so that I can access to the thermostat. Alright, so we'll be taking out the thermostat and check if it's still working fine, and then we'll decide where to go from there. Alright, so to remove that, to reach the thermostat, I will need to actually remove this, and this. Mainly the air ramp, the filter. I don't think I need to remove the battery, and I will need to remove this pipe here to the throttle body. Alright. Okay, so that now that we have removed the things over here, what we'll do is we'll remove two bolts over here, one here, and we'll remove this pipe. So essentially this is the inlet and this is the outlet, and this is where the housing of the thermostat is. So we'll be removing this. I think it uses a size 12 mm. Then we can just yank this out. Okay, from here we can tell that the thermostat is actually busted in the sense that the seal is broken, but we'll test if the thermostat is working, alright? Okay, so the next thing we want to do right now is remove this pipe over here. And what we'll be doing is that we'll be putting water in through here so that the water comes out from where the housing of the thermostat is. Okay, so now that that is flushed off, there's only one more pipe left to flush, which is this pipe that is connected over here. Alright, what this does is this goes through the throttle body as well as the gearbox. So once you flush this, you will see more coolant coming out from the thermostat hole over there. Alright, so yeah, just put the pipe over here and let it run. Actually, I've done that already, so yeah, I'm putting it back actually. Okay, so now that we've flushed out the coolant from everywhere, we're going to put back all the pipes. Okay, before that, just inspect the pipes to see if there's anything inside. So, all looks good. Okay, I'm going to just give it one last flush before we close off the drain cock at the bottom. Alright, so I've actually blocked off the air filter as well as the thermostat housing. Reason being is that well, today is a Sunday, so there's no way for me to get the part, so I'll have to do that tomorrow. And we'll continue this video tomorrow, but at the same time, let's test out the old thermostat to see how it works, alright? Okay, so I have to actually heat it up using the stove, so you can see that the thermostat is actually open right now. So let's cool it down and you should be able to see it. You track that. See, once it cools down, it actually closes back so that the water in the engine block maintains where it is to heat up. Now that we have the replacement thermostat, let's install it back. So let's just remove all these old ones, all this cloth. Alright, installing back the thermostat is as simple as just popping it back in. That's done. And now just to assemble back everything. Okay, and we're done and it's time to fuel it up. Alright, so we're using the Mitsubishi Motors original super long life coolant MZ313950. So there's 4 liters here. This is a 30% premix, meaning that there is 30% concentrated coolant and 70% water. I will get to that during the explanation. Alright? Okay, this is going to be difficult. I need something. Be right back. So you want to pour until it reaches a point where you can see the level over here. Alright, that's more than enough. Then we'll close this off, rinse it a bit, and the balance we'll put it into the reservoir. Okay, make sure you check for anything loose that you might have dropped, like me. I have dropped this. Okay, so right, that's it. We'll just start the engine and see how it goes. Alright, so guys, that's how you change the coolant in the Proton Inspira or the Lancer 08 rebatch. What I have here is a sample of the coolant that was drained out, as well as a sample of the coolant that was put in, which is the Mitsubishi Motors genuine parts, super long life coolant, 30% premix. Alright, so I would like to talk a bit about the coolant. So a lot of people says that the coolant is specially formulated and so on and so forth. You have to use this. I would say no, it is not true. Basically, what this coolant is a green coolant that is meant for, if I'm not mistaken, for aluminium. There's a few different coolants. There's the red, which is the Toyota coolant. There's the green one, which is this, and then there's the a bit more rare yellow or orange color one. So you can actually Google what those coolant are and what type of engine is suitable for, whether a steel engine or aluminium engine. Alright, so the Mitsubishi Lancer 08 or Proton Inspira engine, the 4B11, uses an aluminium block. Alright, radiators aluminium as well. Alright, so I know there will be people who says the method they are used to flush the old coolant out is a great way of introducing water and rust into the engine. I'm going to debunk that. Basically, it won't introduce any rust. It introduces water, which is already in the coolant. Alright, this coolant is 30% concentrated and 70% water. Alright, as to whether pipe water, reverse osmosis water, filtered water, mineral water, whatever water, it doesn't matter, not in the slightest bit, unless of course you're driving cars like Ferraris or whatever, or Lamborghinis, whereby a slight difference will impact it. But in this case, no. Whatever people tell you, whatever you read on the internet, those are debunked. You can actually search on that yourself. Alright, now let's talk about the amount of coolant needed to fill up the radiator as well as the engine block and the reservoir. 4 liters. 4 liters, this is all I needed. Alright, if there is not enough for whatever reason, you can just top it off with water. Alright, if you're feeling like it, you can buy coolant and just put in more, but 4 liters was enough. I had a little bit of spare here. Okay, next up, the method I use to flush out is not exactly something that you need to follow. You can just do the first portion, which is to open the drain pipe, release all the coolant from the radiator, then top up with a new one, or let water go through and then top up with a new one. You don't have to take out all the pipes as well as the thermostat housing. It's not necessary, but I do it because I know how to do it. Alright, let's talk about disposal of the coolant. Now, a lot of people will say that you should not flush your coolant down the drain or let it flow onto the floor. It will kill the land, it will kill the pets. Yes, it is correct. Coolant smells sweet. If your pets or any animals drinks from this, they will die. Alright, which is why people suggest a proper disposal. Alright, bring it, collect it, put it into a can, bring it to the shop for them to either recycle or dispose of. Okay, now let's talk on the cost. Okay, the only thing that cost me money was the coolant. This original Mitsubishi is about $50 ringgit, which is about $12 US. Could have been cheaper. I mean, the concentrated generic branded coolant for 1 liter is about 12 ringgit. So based on the ratio, I could get probably 2 liters and have spare if I add on water to it. So yeah, that would be much cheaper than buying the original. Basically, there's no difference. It's just coolant. Okay, let's talk about the thermostat. Okay, so the reason why this DIY dragged beyond the weekend, beyond one day, is because I did not expect the thermostat to fail on me. As you can see in the video earlier, when I removed the thermostat, the rubber ring, the rubber sealant ring, that broke apart. So yeah, that needs to be changed. And the thermostat itself, when I tested it, it doesn't open at all. Alright, and from the test you can see what I did is that I have to put it to the burner first, the new one. I have to put it to the burner, the stove, get it to open, then dunk it into water. Then you see how the spring go back to how it was, which is the closed position. Alright, that's how a thermostat works. It works based on the temperature. So once the water temperature in your engine reaches the correct point, which is 82 degrees in this case, the thermostat will open and let the water flow. It will flow through the radiator, gets cooled, put back into the engine, and once it's cold enough, it will close back. Okay, so there are a few types of thermostat available for this particular car. What I see is that they have the 76 degrees as well, 76 degrees Celsius thermostat that opens at a much earlier stage, whereby when the water is only 76 degrees rather than 82. So I didn't get that. Reason being is, if the manufacturer have put in the 82 degrees inside, I believe that is their optimal operating temperature, so I will keep it at that temperature, not changing anything. Now, time taken for this DIY is roughly about 1 hour. Most of the time is actually spent on flushing the fluids out. So yeah, you can't just put the pipe in, flush, done. You have to put the pipe in, let it run, because there will be coolant around that will slowly seep out. So yeah, 1 hour is all it takes actually. Alright, so just a sample of the old coolant, which is a bit darker, and the new coolant, which is brighter. Okay, so enough rambling about changing the coolant. It's something simple that you can do. Basically, you only need a couple of tools, which is the 10, 12, and if I'm not mistaken, for 14 mm spanas or socket wrench, and yeah, that's about it. Okay, let me clear the table. So now let's talk about our next DIY. Okay, so we'll talk about our next. So we'll talk about our next DIY, which will involve this. Oh man, this is. And this. Alright, so for those who are smart enough, you know what's the next DIY. It's going to be epic. It's not going to be one episode, it's going to be divided into multiple parts. So if you want to see that, subscribe and stay tuned. Oh, if you like this video, hit like, and if you think your friends can benefit from this, hit the share button as well. Peace out.